I'm Laura from Ontario Business Central, and today on Taking the Leap, we have a delightful woman with us, Sonam from Infinite Care. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you have a very interesting story in that you came to Canada as an immigrant and started a business back in 2009. So what was your journey like as an individual coming into Canada, and how did you start a business as a new immigrant?
First of all, I want to say thank you, Ontario Business Centre, for giving me this platform and opportunity to express myself and talk a little bit about Infinite Care. I came into Canada in 2003, and as a new immigrant, the requirement in Canada was Canadian experience. To gain experience, did a few volunteer at different places. So I was educating myself at the same time looking for any sort of job that I can find. Back then, I was working at a retirement home. And at a retirement home, it's very satisfying that you're doing a full-time job. When you're working in a retirement home, you want to be more caring, more compassionate, providing above and beyond, right? I was fired from the retirement home because there is so many politics in the management level. Do you know everything happens for a reason? And that's the reason that pushed me off. I was always refreshing my resume and applying everywhere, but it's so hard to find a good job that you want, right? Especially when you are new immigrant and doesn't speak fluent English. When they fired me, it was a push.
Right.
And then it made me do the thing that I want. So what I did was, back then, Ontario government has a course called Second Career. The program helped me make the business plan and think in a bigger perspective of how is the life of entrepreneur, and thanks to the government for having all those programs available for people who want to do more, right? So that's when Infinite Care was born.
Wow. So tell me what Infinite Care provides to seniors.
So Infinite Care provide care services for seniors wherever they are, whether they're home, hospital, condo, apartment, wherever they are, we go to them to provide care.
And how do you connect with these people? Do you have a website?
Yes.
How do you advertise?
Yes. To keep a lower overhead, we don't advertise. So we have websites, and we connect with lots of social worker and doctors, hospitals. We drop off brochures at community centers and hospitals and stuff. That's how we get it. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of your business is word of mouth.
Yes. Yes.
And connecting with the community in a way that it doesn't cost your company
exactly
money, but it really connects you to the people that you want to go in and help.
Absolutely, because we try to keep the overhead as low as possible to make sure that the maximum seniors can, utilize our service.
So you're very driven by your clients.
100%. And it's my passion, gives me satisfaction. It makes me happy. End of the day, I can go home and sleep better. It makes my life better as well by doing those things.
So what's it been like for you as a female entrepreneur and an immigrant in Canada?
I don't have a right word, but it gives me life. Because as a refugee who was born and raised in India, to immigrant parents who escaped from Tibet, I am so grateful for Canada. I was maintaining refugee status until I came to Canada. I'm so grateful for Canadian government for giving me the status. Otherwise, I would not imagine where my life will be and where my children's life will be. Forget about bringing out my full potential to provide to the others and more.
What's been one of the most exciting parts of having your business?
Exciting part of the business is seriously from the bottom of my heart, when I go to assess my clients, I look at them and it constantly reminds me that they could be my parents. It always gives me this kind of loving, caring feeling in my heart each time I go to assess in their home. Because before that, the family will be interviewing us and me.
Right.
So each time when I go, it gives me another opportunity to serve my parents.
That's very important.
Yes,
Very kind.
absolutely. Yeah.
Did you have pain points operating your business? Did you find things that you really struggled with?
Now it's been 16 years. I have learned how to overcome those things. I have learned how to think in a two different dimension to make me feel more positive instead of dreading all the time for all the rejections and making sure that my kids are looked after.
When you go to bed at night, what is something that might keep you up?
In the beginning, I processed so many things that what people have told me. But then over the time, I learned what they say is not who I am. Who I am is what I make of myself. And every morning and every evening before I go to bed, I process what happened over the day. Of course, clients are my first priority, but at the same time, my staffs are my responsibility and an asset of Infinite Care. So it took a lot of practice. I always look at everyone else as my brothers and sisters, and that helps me a lot to make me feel like this is good. And you learn at the same time, right? I'm still learning and every day.
Now, what's it like staffing?
Staffing is difficult and easy at the same time because I am fortunate that I have a pool of international educated nurses that comes to me every single day. We have lots of Tibetan from India who are educated nurses. I utilize their ability and their education background to fill up the gap of the staffing needs. So I am not shortage of staff.
So tell us a bit about finding balance in your life between your family, your business, things that you'd like to do yourself.
I have 4 children. I was widowed at 27. Thinking about that, it's very emotional.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, it's not end of the world. You know, if I'm going down on depression, how can I be an example and support for my children as well as my siblings that who are need of my help? Having to be strong
Right.
and broad-minded helped me enormously. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, he always says, wherever you go, you learn the trade in that country and the language and follow what their tradition is. Being a refugee, I try to fit in to any situation I fall into. You can call it struggle or you can call it learning process or growing process. But, you know, end of the day, I feel fortunate for me and my children because we have a roof over our head, food, whatever we feel like we're able to eat, clean water to drink.
So, what would you say to a new immigrant coming in who wants to be an entrepreneur? Because there's a ton of new immigrants coming into Canada who really seem to want to start a business as part of their journey into their Canadian existence. So, what would you say to them?
I think, first of all, it's good that they're thinking because you got to think, right? Thinking and doing is 2 different things. I would suggest that you need to know about what you want to do. Is this something you want to invest your time and money in that will make you happy and will be doing it for a long time? Is that a good investment? Everything is not about money. So know your trade, know what you're doing, know about the pros and cons of all those things. Can you do it? Go for it.
What services does Infinite Care provide to the community?
Infinite Care provides personal support worker care. We provide home care and compassionate one-on-one companion care. Personal support worker service is very personal. You're letting someone into your home that you have never seen before. We often meet the family member as well as the client. Doesn't happen much, but sometimes does. No matter how much I try my best to match the person with our client, there's no chemistry. They gotta have chemistry. Your mom or dad is not happy with my staff, let me know ASAP. I will send someone else tomorrow. Now is the time that they need the help most, and we need to be there for them. If we cannot make them happy, at least we want to make them comfortable. They are hydrated, their tummy is full, they are clean, lotioned, and the most comfortable as possible.
What are your goals over the next 5 years?
I'm a small person with a big dream. But hey, I'm in Canada. And anything is possible if you work hard in Canada, right?
Yes.
My goal for next 5 years is I'm hoping to build a retirement home, one of a kind,
Yes.
in Canada. I have created a business plan already, did some groundwork. I have some volunteers. It will be one of a kind where the mind and the physical needs and happiness, compassionate, and all will be come into one place.
That sounds wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Sonam, I'd like to thank you so much for coming in to speak to us on Taking the Leap and sharing your experience as a woman, as an immigrant to Canada, and your compassionate journey you've been on with your business. Thank you very much for coming in.
Well, thank you so much. I want to say it again for giving me the opportunity to express myself, how grateful I am every single day. I want to be a better Canadian citizen to give back to the society.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you.
At the same time, it's a token from Infinite Care. Thank you,
All
Laura.
right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. That's wonderful.